With threats to our nation waiting around every corner, adaptability is more important than ever. When conditions change without notice, quick strategic thinking is crucial. And with obstacles consistently impending, determination is essential in overcoming them. It's this willingness, decisiveness, and resilience that sets Marines apart. With our fighting spirit, we don't just fight battles, we win them. Marines are the constant our nation counts on to fight the unknown. And through adaptable problem solving, we do just that. Learn more at marines.com.
Survivor 46 is here, and so is On Fire, the only official Survivor podcast, and we have a twist this season. The winner of Survivor 45, Dee Valladares, will be joining us every week.
We're going behind the scenes of the biggest moments, the how and the why things happen, and the strategy and analysis you can only get from someone like me, a Survivor winner.
Listen to On Fire, the official Survivor podcast, wherever you get your podcast.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Birmingham 2022 is set to have the largest ever female and parasport programme in history. In fact, more medals will be won by women at these games than men. The first time in any multi-sporting event that has happened. I'm Michael.
And I'm John, and as we bring our Brum's the Word with Kukri Sports preview podcast to a close, what better way to celebrate than to have three leading women of English sport on the show, all multiple Commonwealth, Olympic, European and World medalists.
Dame Laura Kenny tells us what it's like being home at the London 2012 Velodrome for the Commonwealth Games of Birmingham 2022.
But even the smell, just brings back memories. Well, it is my favourite track, and I think it always going to be,
Emily Campbell, Britain's first ever female Olympic weightlifting medalist, and carrying the England flag tonight.
To obviously lead the team out with the flag, it's so special, and I'm really looking forward to doing it alongside Jack. I think we're up for the job, and we hope we're going to do the nation proud.
And Christine Ohuruogu, World, Olympic and Commonwealth 400 metres champion, now coaching and mentoring a big Team England medal hope in his hometown of Brum.
I say to Matthew to enjoy it. I think he's in a great shape of his life.
Also coming up, our last roundup of the news from the games and your last chance for an exclusive discount from the Kukri website just for listening.
This is Brum's the Word with Kukri Sports, the official kit supplier for Team England, a podcast from Anything But Footy. So here we are, John. Opening ceremony day is here. Birmingham is waiting. Birmingham is expectant. We've had 2 nights of rehearsals, seen 1 or 2 little things on social media, but as ever, going back to what Danny Boyle asked 10 years ago in London, save the surprise. But some people that have been to those opening ceremony rehearsals said it brought tears to their eyes as Birmingham will tell its story to open the games. There's going to be, we understand, a bit of a Peaky Blinders theme to it, and the opening cultural sequence is a love letter not just to Birmingham but to the West Midlands. It may be England's second city. Well, they say England's second city. You go to Manchester and you say, what is England's second city? They'll say Manchester. Go to Leeds Birmingham, and they'll say, what is England's second city? They'll go Leeds. Come to Birmingham and say, what is England's second city? They'll say London. But for the next week and a half, it will be here in Birmingham, the centre of the sporting world.
So on this episode, we're delighted to be focusing on another first for Birmingham, the largest ever female participation in the Games. And what's more medals up for grabs than the men. About time, frankly.
And as we've said before on the podcast, the track cyclists won't be with me here in Birmingham for their 4 days of sprints, pursuits, kierans and scratch races. But one person who's delighted with that decision is arguably Britain's greatest ever sportswoman. I'm talking about Dame Laura Kenny. There may be a leisure centre in her hometown of Cheshunt bearing her name, but as she's been telling John, the London 2012 Velodrome in Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park is what she really calls home.
Today was my first session back on the track, and I just love it here. Like, just everything about it. I just love the fact, even when I'm walking down the stairs, and it sounds so stupid, but even the smell, like, just brings back memories. And it's always going to be a track that, well, it is my favourite track, and I think it's always going to be, you know. Like, I grew up really quite close to this Velodrome, so it's always going to feel like this is my local or home track. I've sort of come at it, like, really relaxed. And like, just even doing the team sessions just then just feels so different. And obviously it was always going to, because we've got 2 of us that went to the Olympics and 2 of the young ones. But yeah, I feel more relaxed than ever, to be honest. I feel like I'm literally just going to go and race my bike. And it's almost bringing more joy. Like, I'm so excited just to get out in front of a home crowd again, because you don't get it that often, and especially on London. I love London.
Following on from that, your memories of Glasgow 2014. I remember you telling me then that you were unwell most of the week, and I think porridge was your superpower that made you get through it. It's the only thing you actually ate that week in Glasgow. So your memories of Glasgow.
We were laughing about it the other day, actually, because obviously Chris Newton was my coach then, and he only had us for that year. And I remember going to him. I woke up at like 2 a.m. and I went to the doctor and I said, I'm in severe pain, like something's really wrong with my kidneys, like just... I just felt like I had food poisoning, and everything that was telling me was I'd had food poisoning. And then I went to our doc, and he was just like, your temperature's through the roof. And I went down to Chris like, I'm not sure I should even do this pursuit, because it was IP day. And Chris was like, oh, you'd be fine. And it was literally awful. It was one of the worst races I'd ever done. And then I spent the next 2 days being sick, right up until the points race. And then Chris was like, just eat bland. And so I did. I just lived on porridge for the next 24 hours and just fingers crossed that everything was fine. And luckily it was. But at the time, I just remember thinking, why am I doing this? This is just awful. I think as the UK, the Commonwealth Games is ranked really quite high. I think if you were to go and ask an everyday person, like, what are the 2 events, the sporting events that they enjoy the most, I think you would always get the Olympic Games and the Commonwealth Games. I think they rank the Commonwealth Games much higher than a World Championships or any of the others, you know, that we compete in, a European Championships or whatever. It's just a shame that it is a Games, but for us, there's not that many points associated with it in terms of your Olympic qualification.
And you mentioned about the Olympics, obviously no crowds there. There will be this time back in London.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, actually, because for me, obviously, I've been to lots of villages. I went to the Delhi village, Glasgow was a village, obviously London, Rio, but Tokyo wasn't a village, and this isn't a village either, because obviously we're racing in London and the Commonwealths are actually in Birmingham. So there's a few people like Josie Knight who've never actually experienced the village kind of situation and the build-up, and that I find that's such a shame. But I just keep saying to her, but the one biggest difference is you are going to have a home crowd. I mean, I think the Velodrome's actually sold out. And so I was like, you're going to have a completely different experience, because it is just going to be insane in there. If it's even half of what we had at the Olympics and the atmosphere that brought, it would be mind-blowing for someone like Josie. Like, I honestly, I just feel... well, it's just nice being back on this track. It's just nice to have a home crowd again.
It was great to see a smiling Laura Kenny on that call with some other journalists. You've probably seen some of the articles in the papers this week. And she wasn't really planning on being here for these games because, of course, she was pregnant. And she's only won 1 gold medal, as we heard, in Glasgow in 2014 in the past. But fate obviously played its hand somewhat. And she's admitted throwing herself back into cycling was just what she needed. Laura's in good heart, good shape. And she's back, as you say, Michael, in her home, the Velodrome. And also, what's really interesting, she's actually staying in the old athletes' village of London 2012 with her parents and her son, Albie, in an Airbnb. So 10 years on from the Games where she made her name. She's going for 3 golds at these Commonwealths. It could be emotional for so many reasons for her. Good luck to Laura Kenny, all of the team cyclists, and Sir Jason Kenny as well, who's coaching Team England, of course, now, and actually staying with the athletes in a nearby hotel, so not with Laura and Albie this time. This is Brum's The Word with Kukri Sports. Still to come, the Team England flag bearers for tonight's Birmingham 2022 opening ceremony. How will they carry the flag? And news from the Games.
And just for listening, you can get your hands on a saving on the full range of official Team England merchandise. Go to the website, kukrisports.com. Use the discount code ABF2022 when you get to the checkout. That is an exclusive offer just for listening to Anything But Footy.
Now, Team England announced their flag bearers for the opening ceremony later. Leading the team of more than 400 athletes will be diver Jack Law and weightlifter Emily Campbell. Jack made his Commonwealth Games debut in Delhi in 2010 and has won 6 medals, including 5 golds at these games, whilst Emily made history in Tokyo last year as the first British woman to win a weightlifting medal. In a moment, we'll speak to Emily, but first let's hear Jack talking to Michael.
Congratulations. What does it mean to you to have the co-honour of carrying the Team England flag into that opening ceremony?
It's obviously a massive achievement to carry the flag with Emily as well. Such a huge figurehead within her sport and a massive role model to women in sport is honestly a massive achievement. You know, there's been some unbelievable athletes carry that flag before me, and to be named amongst one of those is a huge achievement for myself and for my sport as well. And I just can't wait to get out there and carry the flag.
You use the phrase role model. You are a role model, but I don't imagine you wake up in the morning and think, Jack Law, Commonwealth Games multi-medalist, Olympic medalist, role model.
No, of course not. You know, to me, I'm just this is just my day job. It's just something that I am so proud and honoured to be able to do a job that I love, and one that I get to represent my country as well. But I never wake up and think that. But like I say, you know, there have been some unbelievable athletes before me, and to be named amongst one of those, you know, maybe some people do see me as that. But for me, I take every day as it comes, and I enjoy my sport. I'm really loving diving again, and just so excited to get out there and try and retain as many titles as I can.
How did you find out?
Mark England pulled us all into the tent last night, and just had what started out feeling like a bit of a stern word, to be honest with you, talking about the values of Team England. And I was like, oh my God, we're going to get told off. But no, he's a lovely guy, and you know, he started talking about the flag bearing, and then I was thinking, oh, I wonder who this is going to be potentially. I wonder if he's just announcing who it's going to be. And he said my name, and I was almost a bit, I don't even know how to describe it. I couldn't even speak. He said Jack Law, and I was like, what do I do? Everyone's clapping at me, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what. But it's, you know, it's honestly a massive achievement, and to have my teammates and my peers and my girlfriend and my coach there as well to hear the great news was huge. So yeah, a really, really special moment that I'll remember for a long time.
Family connections here in the West Midlands as well. Tell us about those. Plus, what has it meant for the people back home in North Yorkshire?
Yeah, it's a really, really special place for me. You know, this is where my mum grew up. It's where my grandma is from as well. So having those connections and family ties to this area is very, very pivotal for me. You know, my mum's very proud of where she's from, and to have the amazing facility built in Sandwell, and to be able to represent her part of her heritage and where she's from is massive. But you know, I always, when I step out onto that board, I'm always representing Ripon, Harrogate, and Leeds. My 3 hometowns, and you know, I am very, very lucky that I've got 3 amazing places that I am extremely proud to represent, and I can't wait to get out there, you know, try and add to my medal tally that I've had from the Commonwealth Games previously, and represent my hometowns.
You mentioned your grandma. You talked earlier, didn't you, that you lost her relatively recently, and you're going to go out there and carry that flag in her memory?
Of course, yeah. You know, my grandma was such an amazing woman who lived a very, very long life. And was extremely supportive and proud of everything that I've achieved in my career, and you know, she was an amazing woman, and I can't wait to get out there and carry that flag in her honour, and try and do my best for her as well.
And what's the plan with the carrying? Are you going to be one arm outstretched? You and Emily going to do it in shifts? She's a weightlifter, so...
She is, yeah, she's a weightlifter, so it should be light work for her, really. But, you know, I'm a bit short as well, so I think I'm going to have to carry the bottom and she's going to be waving the top. We haven't really got into that yet. I think we're going to have to practice, do a bit of, like, strictly practice. You know, we're going to have to work out the waving left to right and everything. But, no, I think we're just going to go out there and just have a good time. You know, I think both of us want to just experience it for what it is, and not be too strict and sensible about it. Just go out there and be ourselves and wave that flag proudly.
Well, enjoy it. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Emily, congratulations. How does it feel to know you are going to lead your nation out at a huge sporting event, the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, it's as big as what you just said there, to be a part of an opening ceremony, to be part of the games like this is special in itself, but to obviously lead the team out with the flag, yeah, it's so special, and I'm really looking forward to doing it alongside Jack. I think we're up for the job, and we hope we're going to do the nation proud.
Jack's told me he's going to wave, you're going to carry, but you might do a bit of practice. What is the plan for the actual carrying of the flag between the two of you?
Well, it sounds like Jack's, already got a plan in place, it sounds like a good plan. But yeah, we'll definitely have a practice, I think, before we get out, because we don't want to fumble it in front of everyone and in front of the whole nation on BBC. So yeah, no, we'll definitely come up with something. I mean, we're good because we're a little bit height different, so one can tackle the bottom and one can tackle the top.
What memories, if any, do you have of opening ceremonies? Are they important for athletes?
Most definitely. I think it's the first time that an athlete really believes that they're at the Games. I was very, very lucky that I got to walk in the Tokyo 2021 Olympic one, because obviously there wasn't many people because of COVID, but it was still so special. Even though you walked into an empty stadium, there's still the music and the walking and knowing that you was walking in front of thousands of people watching at home was so special. And obviously Gold Coast as well, I remember, so vividly, and that was my first ever game, so I didn't really know what to expect, but it is so special, and I think it's every athlete goes, right, this is real now, we're at the Games, and it's showtime.
And you are representing the majority of the team, because there's more women than men this time around, which is a great thing. And unbelievably, we've not had joint flag bearers before. That seems a baffling decision to me.
Yeah, no, I think it's really special. I think it's so special to see, both a man and a woman walking with the flag together in harmony. I think that's what we want to portray to, everybody across the world, that we're in harmony, that yes, we might compete separately as women and men, but we're together as one. And I think it's really special. And yeah, like we said, more women than men, and it's an amazing step for women's sport.
What does this event mean to you? You're a Midlands sports person, you're a Midlands weightlifter, Nottingham, train in North Derbyshire as well, here in the West Midlands. What does it mean to be in Birmingham?
Yeah, everything, I came to Birmingham a lot as a child, still come to Birmingham quite a lot now, competed in Alexander Stadium before as athletics, so Birmingham is really special to me, and obviously we've been from down the road. So yeah, and I think, it's still quite surreal that we're here in Birmingham and the games are happening in Birmingham. I think we keep going, oh my God, we can't believe we're here, but no, it's amazing, and the city seems to have really embraced the games. There's so many things like the opening ceremony kit's been made in Birmingham, the medals have been made in Birmingham, and I think that makes it even much more special that, the city are really, really embracing it.
And when you think back to that track and field pass, that stadium's changed a bit now, hasn't it?
It has, and I haven't even seen the finished product yet, so that will obviously be a first when we get to Alexander Stadium on Thursday, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the seats not falling apart and seeing a nice shiny new stadium.
And just finally, here to win the gold?
Of course, if everybody comes to win the gold, everybody wants to go on the top step, but I'm in shape, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm strong, and I'm going to go out there and leave it all out there.
Enjoy that opening ceremony as well. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Emily Campbell and Jack Law, who will be carrying the flag for England in tonight's opening ceremony at the Alexander Stadium. And it's great that the Commonwealth Games have adopted what the Olympics did in Tokyo, of course, with a male and a female flag bearer, and it will be Jack and Emily with the job for Team England. Team Northern Ireland have Michaela Walsh, the boxer, and Martin McHugh, who's at his 7th Games, a lawn bowler, carrying their flag, for example. So I think it will be a really good opening ceremony. I love an opening ceremony, as you know. Really looking forward to getting out to Perry Bar. And I think what we're going to see is that kind of cultural presentation in the early stages. We know we've got some great, terrific live music, Duran Duran topping the bill. I think they'll be a big part of the ceremony. Probably the Paul McCartney role at the end of the ceremony.
With
of course,
with a better
big Brummy band, big Brummy band led by Simon Le Bon, and we'll see the parade of the nations, 72 nations and territories. So less than half the size of what we see at the Olympics, which makes it a more palatable watch if you are in the crowd. And what's always interesting about the Commonwealth Games parades is they don't usually do it in alphabetical order like you see at the Olympics. They tend to do it kind of continent by continent. Okay. So what we might see is the teams from Oceania coming out first, then maybe the Americas, maybe Africa, then Asia, and then probably Europe last with Team England, of course, being the final team into the arena. So there'll be some formalities as well. The Commonwealth Games flags will be raised. There will be a performance of the Commonwealth Games hymn, of course, course, there'll be plenty of speeches. Might go and grab a cup of tea during the majority of those. And then the big moment when we'll find out who are the final baton bearers, and they will be handing that baton to the Prince of Wales, who'll be representing the Queen. He will read that message out from the Queen that she stuffed in that baton over a year ago at Buckingham Palace before handing it to Kadina Cox. And then it will be Prince Charles who will declare the Games open.
Can't wait. It's going to be a spectacular, as you say, setting at the Alexander Stadium.
Time for some other news from the Games now, and the Commonwealth Games Federation President, Dame Louise Martin, has said that these Games has a zero tolerance when it comes to drugs in sport. The Commonwealth Games Federation has signed a new agreement with the World Anti-Doping Agency here in Birmingham to encourage clean sport across the 72 nations and territories.
As Michael explained in the last episode of Brum's the Word, Birmingham stepped in to host these Games when Durban was stripped of hosting them in 2017. And we know the baton is being handed to Victoria in Australia for 2026. Michael's already planning his flight, I would have thought. But good to see this week that the Commonwealth Youth Games next year, 2023, blimey, how time flies, will be staged not in England or Australia, but Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, a new name of staging things. It was postponed in 2021 due to the pandemic, but hopes are high. It'll be an amazing event in the twin Caribbean islands. Could I go to that one, please?
No. Now, back to Birmingham 2022, and you will have heard us talk about Matthew Hudson-Smith. In fact, he was one of our guests on Brum's the Word with Kukri Sports in an earlier episode, talking about how he'd grown up running at the Alexander Stadium and he can't wait to compete at his home games. Now, he won a bronze medal, as you know, at the recent World Athletics Championships in the States in the 400 metres. He's been working with Olympic, Commonwealth and World champion Christine Ohuruogu, who won silver at London 2012 in her home games. I was there that night, actually. John has been managing to speak to her about her role as a mentor and coach.
You're Coach Christine now.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't think I'm good enough to fill the shoes of the great coaches that have gone before me, but I think I'm just doing the bit I can. It's my sister that I'm looking after. I call it looking after because she doesn't really listen to me anyway, so... But, you know, I know 400, I know my sister, so it's just a good match. And our coach did pass away last year, so it really was incumbent upon me to do the best I could to see her through the season.
Commonwealth Games coming up. What can you also keeping an eye on, or he told us that Matthew Hudson-Smith
yes.
calls you quite regularly.
Yes, Matthew's been someone I've looked after for a long time. I've known him for a long time. So, yeah, him and my sister are the ones that I really do spend a lot of time looking after. But, yeah, he's been an absolute pleasure to work with. I have really high hopes for him, and I think that, you know, deservedly so. A really, really nice young man, and he has a genuine heart for the sport, genuine heart for doing well. And, yeah, I wish him nothing but the best, and I really do hope that I can help him achieve what he believes he can achieve.
Because he's about to do what you did, which is perform at his home games. He's going to be in Birmingham for the Commonwealth Games. What advice would you have for him?
What advice would I... That's a good question. I haven't even thought about that. I suppose we've been so busy preparing for the World Champs. I say to Matthew to enjoy it. I think he's in a great shape of his life, and to be in a great shape of your life running, you know, in a once in a lifetime opportunity in your home stadium is something that you really have to cherish. But in all of that, you still have a job to do. So I probably would advise him not to get too carried away. You can enjoy everything once you're finished.
Great to see Christine. She's so honest. That's what I just love about her. She's great to talk to. She's even better now speaking to her than when we used to try and interview her after a 400-metre race, because she was absolutely exhausted. And I never understood why. But when you realise how tough, and Michael Johnson says it, doesn't he? The 400-metre races are the toughest races on the track. So great to see her recently, and good luck to Matthew Hudson-Smith and all of Team England, of course, at these games.
This is Brum's the Word from Anything But Footy, brought to you with Kukri Sports, the official kit provider for Team England and for all your bespoke sportswear needs. If you want to get your merch to support Team England, go to their website, kukrisports.com. So it's hello And it's goodbye from Birmingham. Thank you so much for following us as we built up to the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games. But do keep listening, do keep following Anything But Footy, as there'll always be more to come.
Social Podcast Network.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.